So this is the video that me and Andromeda Flame were shut down on while we were talking about the CIA. They kept they shut us down. I had to appeal on the spot. You might hear echoing, meaning you might hear repeat words. Please be patient. Please listen to the message. It's really important. I was going to edit it, but it's too much. So I'm just going to let you get at it and let me know. Please leave comments on the comment section. Much love on your journey. Namaste. Live. I have a special guest today. I advertised it, which is with Andromeda Flame. I'm really excited. Okay, so we're doing a live. I have a special guest today. I advertised it, which is with Andromeda Flame. I'm really excited. Okay, so we're doing a live. I have a special guest today. I advertised it, which is with Andromeda Flame. I'm really excited. All right, so just waiting for Andromeda Flame to come on. I'm really excited. Here we go. And here we go. Let me add you to this. Thank you for being here. So we have an hour, my love, and let's use this hour. I know we could go on for hours, like weeks in one live. I could, but we wanted to explore with all of you, and we're gonna wait until we get 9 people. You know that's my magic number. Hi, Stacy. It's good to see you. Allison, thank you for being here. Please share the live. Help us share the live. We're gonna drop some beautiful power. And we need to explore. I've been doing, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been doing a lot of Akashic readings for people this year. And I just had a mind-blowing Akashic reading with a divine masculine, and which I shared in detail with Andromeda Flame, who is an amazing partner of mine in this journey to help as many twins come into union. But the reality is many will not. And but one of the fallacies that I'm seeing, which has me a little riled up, is the fact that there's this thing about that twin flames began using biblical New Testament that we split when the earth was created. I call bullshit. Take it away, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, twins, the decision for the soul to split was long before planet Earth was ever formed.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
We know that this is not the only universe, right? We know that there's an infinite number of other universes.
Yeah.
And there are beings in our solar system that actually came from other universes.
Right.
So this idea of being able to time when twins were created it's ludicrous, because we have no idea about time. We have watches, we have clocks. Our lives on this planet are ruled by time, which ultimately is an illusion. Right now, Cleopatra is on the throne in Egypt. Yeshua is walking the earth. The Orion Wars are happening.
Right.
Time is non-linear. Yes. Additionally, to equate anything to do with twins to a book which has been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and edited and clipped in order to serve certain agenda, which includes diminishing the idea of the divine couple, is insane. Just I don't have any other word for it. It's ridiculous, and it smacks of a total lack of understanding of what twins are, firstly, but also twins in history, right? So this is very damaging, as are the other things I'm seeing about, all twins are coming into union. If you come into union, it's your final lifetime.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is nonsense. One of the reasons it's nonsense is because union means different things, right?
Yeah.
Union doesn't have to look a particular way. It's an energetic state. It's a vibrational state.
Yeah.
So again, it's filling people's head with nonsense. It's filling people's head with a false narrative, which could keep them stuck. And Tony, are you there? And it's potentially harmful to many, many twins who are struggling on this journey and struggling with the realization that they may never come into physical union with their twin in this lifetime, because their twin is simply stuck in 3D egoic thinking.
Right.
So it's enormously embarrassing. And I'm not seeing really a promotion of this idea of wholeness unto oneself, which is what Tony and I are really promoting, that this journey is first and foremost about you, about your growth, about your mission, about your healing, about your ascension. And while it may not happen in this lifetime, at some point your twin will do the energetic work, do the work required to meet you and be in union with you. But that may not happen in this lifetime. And that doesn't mean that it's either your final lifetime on Earth or not. If there's more work to do, or you choose to take on a further mission on Earth, then you will have another incarnation on Earth. None of us sitting here today are in a position really to say with much certainty whether or not we are going to reincarnate on Earth again. Some of us who are volunteers chose to be here. And that's a difficult task because of the amnesia we suffer. And Tony and I were talking earlier about the amnesia. So when you incarnate on Earth, you have amnesia about who you are, about your power, about your mission. But the amnesia runs both ways. When you're in higher dimensions, when you're existing on a higher plane and you can see things from a transcendental perspective, you actually forget how hard it is on Earth. You forget how much human beings hurt. You forget about all of that. And so none of us can really say whether or not it is our final lifetime on Earth. Because many of us volunteered. Many of us were not sent back. We're not required to come to this planet.
Yeah.
We chose to come here.
Yeah. But to me, let me just say this, okay? When you become transcendental, I'm going to be blunt. When we become transcendental, some of us know, okay, that, and you're going to have to be honest with you guys, yourselves, because some of you aren't transcendental on your twin flame journey, which means, in my humble opinion, you don't know if you're coming back or not. But I can tell you that some of you don't even have a twin flame. You're doing a whole different type of journey. And that's, it's wonderful. You know what I mean? So, but what Christ, I'm sorry. I got somebody just texting me while I told them I'm on a live, and I'm annoyed right now. But I just want you guys to know that you will know if you're coming back or not. I know some of you might come back to grab your twin out of the 3D conveyor belt of incarnations. I know that some of you will actually do a lot of work from the other side to make sure that they're not. In fact, some of you are more powerful on the other side to do work, much more powerful to do work on the other side than being back in the mud and blood and tears of the 3D conveyor belt. And some of you will understand that. And you know I've said that to many of you. But some of you, unfortunately, will come back to get your twin. And, Andromeda, I just want to make sure, see, you and I agree on many, in fact, fucking 99% of the time we agree on everything. But in this particular, I need to make clear that, and again, I want you to kind of expound on that idea of really doing more work on the other side than going back into the mud and gunk of amnesia. And it's very much like the Little Mermaid, remember, right? And it's like, I'm going to give up my voice to have legs so I can be like you. In other words, I'm going to lower my frequency to match your frequency, to hopefully we're going to remember each other, and hopefully we'll get the fuck out of here. And by the way, this planet's going into 5D, so some of you actually may actually come back when the planet Earth is 5-6D, and there's a separation on this planet between you and your twin, and you can pull them across the bridge. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts on all of these? I mean, there's a pretty complex. I mean, what do you think?
I think, yeah, you're right. These are quite complex issues. But I think there are some of us who will be given a choice, right? Yeah. That you can volunteer, basically to assist your twin in closing out cycles.
Yes.
In closing out karma, so that they can ascend. This is the reason I volunteered, right, for this lifetime. I'll be frank, okay?
Yeah.
Now, would I have been more powerful on the other side?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what I was shown.
Yes.
Right? It depends upon the guidance I received. Because sometimes that physical presence is needed, and
Yes.
other times it's not. It very much depends on what the cycles are, what the karma is, and how connected your twin is, for example.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you're talking about helping the collective, okay, because let's face it, right, twin unions, twins, you know, in union or not, help the collective when they awaken, when they do the work, right?
But that's only when they do the work. Let's not forget, because we had a lot of twins, masculines last year committing suicide, and that was a domino effect that impacted a lot of other twins. It was almost energetically copycatting, energetically, the absolute despair that drives people to do that. And many of us survived the dark night of the soul in 2020. It's whichever year you can connect to. We survived, so we were a domino effect of the positive, of coming out of the ashes like phoenixes. But many of them did not, and unfortunately, that was a reverberation that hit the masculine square in the root chakra, creating one loss after another.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing that up because I think that's an important component, so that when you guys are in separation, don't fucking play small. Right?
Yeah, because you need to. The point is, this journey is primarily about you, okay? And whether you're in separation or not, you must be in mission in order to have that positive effect on the collective. All right. Now unions do have a massively positive effect on a wide collective, because of that unconditional love. Yeah. Okay, but you can do that even if you're in separation with your twin,
right?
By showing unconditional love to yourself first, and stepping into mission and understanding what that is. Mm-hmm. But there is something to be said about help from the other side when it comes to collective ascension, because that help from the other side will be guiding people in physical incarnations on Earth as to how they can really assist the collective, how they can really step into their mission. So help is needed on all dimensions. And what that also means is that you have to use your discernment on all dimensions to ensure that you're not getting corrupted downloads, etc.
Right. So you have to work on, and so a lot of you guys, well, and a lot of you guys are going into meditations and so forth. No one has to tell you the benefits of that. But the problem with people is that they'll do meditations and think because it looks benign, or their monkey mind's slaying them, and then they won't do it on a regular basis. And it's because it isn't a visual. There's no visual outcome to meditation. You might think. Though I would say that's a lie, because I've seen people who've meditated for decades and they don't need Botox on their foreheads. I mean, that might sound funny to you, but I'm not fucking kidding. The people that live in temples that I've seen that are in their 60s and 70s have their forehead is clear of the furrows of the 3D worry, because they show up to their meditations every single day and they've done it for decades. This is something I've noticed time and time again. People who are really following the path of the light, which is talked about in the Emerald Tablet. Follow the light, follow the light. That's what Thoth keeps talking about when you read the Emerald Tablet. So when we talk about how do we expand into the ascension, these supposedly benign things that you can't see, like if you went to the gym every day, you would see eventually you're getting lean, you're looking good. Okay. But you're not going to see it. And discernment doesn't just happen. Discernment comes from, right, working on your chakras, meditation, breathing techniques, yoga, even if that's what you want to do, connecting with nature. It might seem like I don't see that, yeah, but suddenly you'll have downloads like Andromeda was saying that are not corrupted. You'll have a lot of clear downloads, and you'll know when it's a corrupted download. And this is something that even supposed spiritual people who are selling their services, they have corrupted downloads and they don't realize it. Why do I say that? Corrupted downloads is something that will be felt as a fearful energy, and it will sell fear to the collective. That's a corrupted download. If you let, and I keep mentioning Lee Harris because he's one of the only ones I can assure you there's never been a corrupted download, and it is never fear. It's fact filled. Yes, there's a spiritual war, but here's the deal. Yes, this is happening, but it's never fear filled. He has pure downloads. Can you expound on those concepts? Because people just don't show up to their meditations.
Yeah, and ultimately this is about discipline. Like, if you want to achieve anything, and that includes spiritual enlightenment, ascension, the ability to manifest, you've got to be consistent, right? And consistent means showing up for yourself. The real gains are when you're feeling like absolute shit, you're going through, turmoil, you're going through things every day which are challenging you, and you still show up to your meditation.
Yeah.
That's when the universe smiles upon you.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're showing commitment. You can't expect to get anything without commitment. You can't simply expect, right, to meditate once in a blue moon and have shining, functioning, spinning, flowing chakras, heart-centered discernment, and the ability to manifest. And when I'm talking about manifest, I'm talking about manifesting the new earth, manifesting your heart-centered business, right? Manifesting things which are for the good of the collective. I'm not talking about, manifesting a Dyson hairdryer or a, Ferrari, right? I'm talking about manifesting real things, okay, which are going to propel your mission, which are going to aid your ascension. But you need to show up for yourself every single day without fail.
Mm-hmm.
Without fail. And there are days when we don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's like an exorcism.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we're finding is that many are being told that everyone's coming into union and I talked about it in one of my lives previous, but I'd like to ask you, why do you think these supposed twin flame experts in twin ray, well, most of them don't talk about twin ray because there's nothing to talk about. It's a perfect union. But in twin flame dynamic, why do you think they're talking about the age of Aquarius and thinking that it's an okay message, it's a wise message to give out to twin flames that they're all coming into union, when you and I both know there are some masculine and feminine twin flames that are so entrenched in 3D, in also the toxicity of massive and serious addictions? Why would they do that to... What do you think is the premise, the philosophy behind promising Christmas when we can't afford Christmas? Because, if you could, yeah.
I mean, I think there are two reasons. Okay, so there's the popular twin flame quote experts unquote, right? And if you can't detect sarcasm in my voice, there is sarcasm. But I think a lot of these people parrot each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I think genuinely a lot of them parrot each other, and they have no genuine discernment or downloads of their own. Right. So they just churn out the same old nonsense. On the other side of that, there is a more sinister agenda.
Yeah.
And that's that some of these people actually have an interest in keeping twins stuck. There's nothing that's going to generate chasing energy. And I'm not talking about physically calling or physically stalking. I'm talking about energetic chasing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that's going to create energetic chasing more than being told that you're definitely going to be in union in 2025. Right?
Yeah.
And you put a feminine, right, or whoever, in chasing energy, and that's going to create a runner chaser dynamic, which can go on for years. Exactly. And all the work they will have done will have gone to waste because they're back in the runner chaser dynamic, where they're going to be facing more pain, where they're likely to go through another dark night of the soul. All right. And they're going to be stuck in that loop, in that cycle. Unfortunately, some people have an interest in keeping twins there, and even more sinister.
Yeah, and right. It's funny.
Yeah.
I just want to read Angie Smith. They say what people want to hear. It's part of the con. Yes. I'm about to go woohoo tinfoil hat. We're not here to be politically correct, my friends. We're here to actually give you as much information and intel as we can. So let's put on our tinfoil hat for a minute, and let's look at the website of the CIA. Now, let's go there. Here's why. Because Andromeda, you turned me on to a movie I never wanted to watch, and finally I did, and I watched it back to back, which is Men Who Stare at Goats. So all of you, your homework today, this week, is to watch Men Who Stare at Goats, because this is based on actual CIA files. Why am I saying that? Because the agendas of the 1%, Project 2025, and depopulation of the people, and all kinds of crap like that. Now, the ascension has been written. There's a woman right now going viral. She's got dark hair, big eyes, as if she's having heart issues. By the way, I just thought of that as I saw it. Heart issues. It's weird. I just realized that. And she's talking about how she was a remote viewer for the CIA. You guys know this is real, right? You can actually go to the CIA and it's declassified information. You get that, right? Okay. So what is the benefit or keeping twin flames from becoming twin rays in this particular ascension timeline? Go ahead. I know you know, Sarah, I know you have the answer. I know you do, because we talk about it all the time. What is the agenda to keep twin flames from graduating to twin rays during the ascension that we're on? What is the battle? Why do they want us to continuously repeat, wash and repeat in the cycle of 3D reincarnation and amnesia? Why would the CIA maybe get involved with that? Because I see a lot of weird psyop shit going on that are saying all kinds of weird things about the apocalypse and this and that. It just goes on and on and on. It's like selling fear in different realms of spirituality. And I know they're dropping people to influence people. Social media is a crackpot, because you can actually make a video go viral with the right advertising, with the right push and the right connections. But that's why some of us are shadow banned, because what we're saying is true. And there are some people that are being pushed into the world to sell you the Ken and Barbie story, to put you in conflict with yourself and what you feel. This is why Twin Flame Universe became a viral show and is an agenda to show the bullshit and the toxicity, and to sell that a twin flame journey is a cultish, toxic, obsessive situation.
Yeah.
Now, we're crazy. So and I've linked a lot of stuff in, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to ask you if you could deconstruct this exact agenda, because I don't think it's bullshit. I'm starting to wonder. Hi, beautiful.
No, there are several parts to this, but the basic point is to try to keep twin flames not in union. All right? It's to try to create fear. It's to maintain the illusion of separation, because separation is an illusion. It is to continually attack our root chakra, right? Because if your root chakra is not working, then the rest of your chakras aren't going to work.
Hang up. Sarah, hang up. Sarah, hang up. Sarah, hang up. Sarah? Okay, so this is really exciting. I'm waiting for the usual rabble of beautiful high priestesses and priestesses to come on. Yeah, we were flagged because of what we're saying. I'm actually quite happy this happened, because it shows that what we're saying is exactly on the fucking mark. I've been talking about the 1% for years, Rachel. That's not it. It was what I said about the alphabet agency that has been using psychic energies for a long time, as did the Russian agency. Okay, so this is nothing to do with what you said. It had to do with what we were saying. So what's really amazing and exciting is that it hit the mark. It hit the mark. I'm waiting for Andromeda to get on right now. And I'm very proud of us because we are saying shit that needs to be said. There are agencies that don't want it. Just proved what I just said about psyop agent. I mean, it's actually funny as fuck, honestly. I am so happy because if you don't think this is a confirmation that what we're saying is exactly what's happening with the twin flame journey and the agenda behind it to prevent you guys to come into union, to grab the masculine's root chakra by the kahunas, and to make sure that this person is going to be addicted and self-destructive and PORNO, since I need to speak in code because I want to continue this with you guys who are coming back on our live. This is just confirmed what I said. This is mic drop. We're not bullshitting you when we tell you we know what we're talking about. I've been on this journey since I was 18 years old, and Andromeda, but both of it, I graduated from a twin flame with my twin flame to a twin ray. It was hit and miss. I didn't even think, if you look back at my lives last year, I was saying, I doubt we'll ever go and become twin rays. I doubted it. Andromeda is in a twin flame journey. We know what we're talking about. We know what we're seeing. We know what has prevented our masculine to see this journey for what it was. We saw what 3D was doing to our men. And we saw how it got them addicted to the weirdest shit. And I don't mean just drugas. I'm talking about other things, other distractions to keep the twin flame from graduating to twin ray, because we are like incredibly powerful. The fact that we got pulled like that, and I won the appeal within seconds. You saw that. Many of you paid attention. We're not bullshitting you. We're telling you that you need to do what we've been asking you to do for a solid year, right? Continue, please, Sarah, and welcome back, and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it proves a point beautifully. You don't get shut down unless you're saying stuff they don't want you to hear. And the truth has been concealed for millennia. And this concealment of the truth has entrenched the illusions of separation, the illusions of distractions, and has perpetuated distress and disharmony on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get back to it, why is there an agenda to keep twins separate? Why is there an agenda to stop twins from graduating to twin ray? It's because the energy is so powerful. The transcendental energy of twin rays would have a massive effect energetically on the planet. It would allow many, many others, simply through seeing it, simply through experiencing that energy,
Yeah,
it would allow many, many others to ascend. And when you ascend, when all your chakras are working, when your crown chakra is opening, when you are receiving higher spiritual wisdom, you stop being under their control. And they can't have that.
Exactly. And what happens is the 100 monkey theory, once again. It's the 100 monkey theory. And this is something that is real. It's a real thing. We impact people we will never meet. It's the butterfly theory. It's the domino effect. Good or bad, whatever it is, good or bad. And this is why when I talk to twin flame couples, right, together in separation, how they get so entrenched. They go transcendental for 5%, 95% they're in 3D. They're in the corrupted hamster wheel of distractions. And this is why when we look at the 1%, which I talk about in all my lives, I'm always talking about the 1%. That's not even a conversation. It's like, yes, this is why do they need to prevent us from doing that? Well, because at that point it's game fucking over. I'm not gonna like spell it out for you. You can figure out what game over means. But before we continue, Sarah, we are going to actually move our channel, right? Because Sarah and I are working together, and we're going to move our channel to Rumble. So I need you guys, if you want to follow us, to Rumble. And a lot of my lives I put up on YouTube. I hope to God I'm able to get the one that was shut down. Hopefully it'll be restored so I can put it together, including pasting this live together into one shot. But my point is, a lot of us have to go to Rumble. A lot of us are, and I've been talking about the Spotify, right? Andromeda. And
Yeah.
so we're going to be working on doing, I'm sorry, it won't be lives. Rumble will be lives, but we're going to also just do podcasts because we don't want to go through this shit again. Because there's things we need to tell you that we need you to take seriously for your own journey. And I will tell you again and again, when you are walking your journey, your twin will come to you. It's not a guarantee. It's a truth that I've seen again and again. And if your twin is addicted to all kinds of weird shit, I'm going to be very honest with you. You can heal them remotely. You, of all people on the planet, are more likely to successfully heal your twin than any fucking. Do not go to a healer. Please don't go to a healer and say, can you heal my twin? Can you heal my twin flame relationship? Please don't do that because they're hustling you. They're taking your pain. It's kind of like a mother who's lost her son or daughter to something wrong, right? The person died too young, right? And they go to a person to say, can you tap in? Can you tell me how they are? Let me just say, no matter what, they're always good unless you feel otherwise. Then, go to someone who says, how can I help them cross over? Okay, that's on the side note. But your pain should not be something that people take advantage of. There's a very well-known twin flame coach that, and I'm just gonna fucking say it, I'm not saying her name, and she's charging $777 for 30 minutes. Bullshit. That's bullshit. And you know it. That's bullshit. Okay? Because this is why her and Andromeda and I charge like 108 for 1 fucking hour. Because at the end of the day, is it me hustling you to make money, or is it me having an energy exchange of money so I can pay my bills, but still be affordable so that I'm approachable to you so that anyone can afford me or an Andromeda Flame? I do 2-hour sessions of hypnotherapy for $225. $777 for 30 minutes? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you there to help people, or are you there to just take people? Right? All she needs is 4 to 5. It's insane to me, the lack of integrity that I'm seeing that many of you are listening to. And I'm not saying me, just come to me or Andromeda. I'm saying we've decided, me and Andromeda have decided, we're gonna give you a list of people that know their shit. And that list, if it does include someone believe me, we're not stupid, then they're probably not on that list for a reason. So instead of talking shit about people, which is wrong, it's energetically wrong and gritty and nasty, we're going to give you a list of options so that you can go and find something that's a better match for you. Because I might not be your match, and Andromeda Flame may not be your match, and that's okay. We're good with that. So we're going to give you people we respect in the twin flame journey that's not going to charge you $777. For example, 777. Oh, I love the numbers. 20. I love that. Okay, wonderful. For 30 minutes. That's disgusting. And that really riles me up. Your thoughts on that? I mean, and oh, by the way, before I forget, I was talking to Andromeda Flame, right? Remember Andromeda? I said, I see her actually on the internet grabbing all kinds of information from other twin flame who are experts and regurgitating a lot of it. It's not even her own downloads. It's not even her own journey. This is not to talk shit and to cheat. That's why we're going to give you the list, because we're going to both publish it on our own TikTok. So you have it. So you can work with us and work with other people. What are your thoughts on that? Because I'm just beyond.
Yeah, when I saw how much this person was charging, I was disgusted, actually, because there's one thing, having an energy exchange. An energy exchange is an important karmic principle, and people who are doing spiritual work should be remunerated appropriately. But this is not appropriate. $777 for 30 minutes. I mean, who has that kind of money, number one? And number two, people are in so much pain that they will get themselves into debt over this kind of stuff. People did that. You can see that in the Twin Flames universe documentaries. There are people who got themselves into debt, right, to pay for this because they were so desperate. Now, if you're paying that amount, you are in desperate energy and you're not going to get into union, right? The point of using your discernment, it is looking at little bits and pieces of evidence like that. It's also listening to what people say. Are they speaking in a coherent, sincere fashion? Are they talking to you about your self-worth, your self-concept, your self-love, your mission? Or are they continuing to peddle, to dangle the carrot of union in order to get your money? And it's deeply sinister. The
Yes.
karma to be paid for profiting of people's pain in that way is severe. And if you do go to people like that, remember, you're actually going to partake in that karma. So this is another reason for you to really hone your discernment, really use your discernment. And you will find someone who can help you on this journey, who will be a match to you. And it doesn't matter to me and Tony
Yeah.
Who that is, as long as you are getting the correct help, as long as you're not being dangled the carrot of union when your twin is addicted and playing around and being an arsehole, right? But it is somebody who is going to, help you with your spiritual hygiene, is going to help you with working on your
Exactly. Like,
feelings, right?
exactly right. And that's why I do Akashic readings. Why? And I explained that yesterday. And Akashic readings are, because a lot of you guys are playing small. It's great to say, oh, the answers is within yourself. Dude, if people had the answers within themselves, they wouldn't be going and spending $7,000 to get their curse off their twin and themselves. 7 fucking thousand. And it's not the first time. I've seen people literally charge $1,000 a week to burn candles, to give you a special candle. Fuck, man, do your own candle. You can actually create your own candle. You can charge your own powers. There are people like Tim Wild, who I bought a tiny little crystal skull that he had infused with the energy and light codes of Thoth. Why would I do that with him? Because he knows what the fuck he's doing. So do you understand? And I have it still. But there are people who are making a massive load of money. We're talking about in the upwards of 6 to 7 figures a year, who are literally trolling the pain of people. For a while, for last year, especially, and earlier this year, I would have people going on my lives, the balls, to actually look and try to like troll people for readings. It's like, dude, you're definitely on the wrong live, and you're dealing with the wrong chick. But the point, what I'm trying to say to you, and what we are saying, is that if you were not, as you go through, let me just go backwards. When I did the Akashic reading, which was my point, the Akashic readings, the reason why they're important is because most of you are playing small, and the Akashic readings are there to help you remember some of the things you had accomplished on this planet, a lot of times on other planets, as species that we recognize and species we don't, humanoid quite often, sometimes not. And why is that important? To kick you in the ass, to say, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing here? Why aren't you doing what you were born to do on this planet, to get it going, and for massive amounts of people to cross the bridges of ascension? Why are you playing small? So when you work with these twin ray, twin flame experts that me and Andromeda respect, including if you decide to work with us, we're here to remember who you are. We're not here to fucking remove curses on you. Can we teach you how to do it? Have we done it? Yes, because people were like that codependent on us, but eventually now they know what to do because, right? I mean, I
Yes.
did it separately in a restaurant, and you did it also for a client in Norway, right? So my point is, once you know how to do it, right, you take the ball and you go with it. You're not supposed to be in therapy, spiritual therapy, for 30 years of your life, though that's considered normal, by the way. I know of people who do that, 30 years on the couch with the same therapist, and they're still fucked up. That's not what it's about. It's about spiritually aligning yourself and working with people. Like, I work with a healer, because I have to, because of the work I do. So once a month I connect with her and she heals my energy. Why? Because a healer needs to be a healer, because too many of us have ended up in the hospital with no physical symptoms that can be um, found. And so there's a lot of reasons. So saying, well, it's all within you. No, it isn't. When you're gaslighting, when you have the monkey mind, when you're not meditating, when your chakras are fucked up. No, it's not within you. It's within outside of you. And when it's within you, it means you're plugged into the all, the creator of the universe. You're plugged in, okay? And you're getting these incredible downloads, and you're getting ascension upgrades, light codes, and so on and so forth. That's when it's within you. But the within you idea of the bootstrap theory is not an okay, and it's a very toxic new age thing to say. No offense to you, brother. I'm just bringing that up because that is a very good line. But most people can't do that. If they could, they would. And so, what is the corruption of that ability to be? If it's within you, it's all within you. The corruption is the monkey mind. The corruption is the gaslighting of the self. Do you understand? Do you want to expound on that? It's all within you, which are, clearly, I mean, we'd all be fucking kumbaya. In fact, none of us would be here.
You know, it's along the lines of, you know, hurting someone and then telling them that they're feeling that way because they choose to feel that way. This is all part of the toxicity of New Age spirituality. The fact is that the answers you get after consistent meditation, consistent chakra work, right? Connecting with other people on a spiritual path and discussing concepts. That's when the answers come. You can't expect the answers to just, you know, you can't expect to pluck answers out of your ass when you haven't been doing the work.
Thank you.
Right? And a lot of people expect that. And this idea that we are somehow responsible, right, for other people's behavior or whatever. Again, another kind of toxic new age spiritual concept. Let's get real. We need community. We need guidance.
Absolutely.
Right? We all need guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, because when we're by ourselves at home and we're meditating and it's all good, and then you go out into the world and you're confronted by people who are of, you know, no offense, but of lower vibration.
Yes.
They're unaware, they're asleep, right? They can be pretty toxic, pretty nasty. And your ego has a role there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then every day, right, when you meditate again, you need to tame the ego again.
Constantly.
Continually. Every single day. Otherwise, you're never going to reach that state. It would be all very well if we were living on the top of a mountain, okay, meditating for 4 hours a day, okay, and being surrounded by nature, living that pure existence. Great, but we're not. That is not the reality of the existences that we have been thrown into,
or chosen. Chosen, because as a foot soldier, right, boots on the ground, not being part of the 1% is like a choice, because we couldn't ascend unless we were boots on the ground, because it's not about us only. On another note, I'm going to bring up corrupted downloads from what you would call teachers and healers, and I say this in, like you say, inverted commas to copy you, Andromeda. And so one woman, okay, last year, I'll never forget, because my twin and I we had just gotten back together physically, and I remember listening to, and you remember her too. She had a tattoo on her chin, right, Maori, and she was my age, and she was telling people, pack up your shit. The end of the world is coming. She jumped from 16,000 followers to 20,000 followers in like a week and a half, something like that. 4,000 people, and they were all in the comments going. And I used to follow her, think she was cool because it was about forgiveness. Her whole premise was forgiveness. Okay, cool, love it, because that's a good message. That is important, or else you're stuck in the loop. But anyway, and then suddenly she decided to go unhinged and say, that's it, it's the end, it's all going to end, this, that, and the other. And people were in the comments going, oh, thank God, oh my God, good, I don't have to pay my bills, which, you know, I've made jokes about that. But anyway, and people were gravitating to this incredibly toxic message. Now, she said it would happen in May. May has come and gone because she said it was going to happen this year, by the way. And the vibration of this year was 2024, which is 8, which is paying karma. So there's no, it's been a hell of a year for most of you, if not all of you. But with that said, that was a viral video that Andromeda, right? You saw it. Yeah. We all saw it. Many of us saw it and discussed it going, what the fuck? Like, why? But you're going to have to, like, that's what we mean by discernment. Has Lee Harris said there's a spiritual war? Has he said the word 1%? No, but he's inferred it in his latest interview with Regina Meredith, latest. And so he's tapping into the 3Zs. We're saying, yeah, the shit's fucking real. Yeah, we all know that. We're all living it. We know it's real. But he did not say it in a way that would infuse you with the dark, nefarious, toxic seed of fear. It was more about, yes, it's here. And this is what you do. Problem, solution. Not problem, oh fuck. Okay? This is where you have to find spiritual healers and healing facilitators and teachers and mentors that are on that level of understanding that you don't gaslight people. Oh, kumbaya, just ignore the energy, you know, whatever's going on in Gaza, whatever, you know, I mean, it's their karma. I'm hearing that shit too. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy shit. And that's toxic as well. You have to know the problem, and then you have to work on the solution, not in a 3D. You don't fight fire with fire, you will lose. Believe me, we've tried it. Look at all the revolutions throughout the centuries, all the wars, all the conquests. It doesn't work. We have to go high vibration, and that's when we go into our high priest, high priestess energy, a co-creation with the universe on the new earth, which, by the way, has been written. Do you want to take it away? Tell me more about your thoughts on this premise and this approach to the massive changes that is part of the ascension and the rumbling and shaking of the human consciousness and the planet itself, Pachamama.
Yeah, so we'll take you back to something that we've spoken about quite a lot before, which is the idea of egregores, right? So this woman coming out and saying the end of the world is now, okay? And we've all seen those, you know, those men with the sandwich boards, right? You know, the end of the world is now. And what that creates, it creates an egregore of fear. And an egregore is a collective thought process, which then takes on a life of its own, right? The thinkers then lose control over this force, which they have created with their thoughts. And the whole point is that everything we're seeing on Earth at the moment, from reactions to election results, to genos, to wars, to all of that. This is all a sign of egregores of fear, of brutality, of greed, right? All of these egregores we're actually seeing. And the only way, the only effective way to actually combat that is through energetic work. Mm-hmm. We saw that with the storms, right? We saw what happened when people came together and meditated. That's of course, one group claimed that it was them. So the Christians claimed it was them and the spiritualists claimed it was them. It doesn't matter. People's intention.
We all did it. It was a collective. It was a
collective effort, right? Yeah. And that was also an egregore. That was an egregore of hope, an egregore of compassion, right? So we have seen this in action, and understanding that it is not the people in war-torn areas who are paying karma. It is the people in war-torn areas who are being affected by the collective consciousness. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And this is where we have to make the shift. And there has been, Tony and I were talking earlier, there's been some kind of massive, I don't know whether you guys have felt it as well, but really there's been an energetic shift over the past couple of days, where I think more people are going to be stepping into their power. More people are going to be recognizing their power. There's a re-energization of the collective And this is the time where we need to come together, where we need to be talking about what we're manifesting. We need to be talking about what we're seeing in our meditations. We need to be talking about the chakra work we're doing, and giving each other pointers, and really excavating this, talking about our shadow work and how do we integrate that? How do we love ourselves completely? And that includes loving ourselves, warts and all, shadows and all. Right? This is what is going to manifest the new earth, and it doesn't take a lot of us. There's a reason there are only 144,000 of us.
Which we talked about. Yeah, which we talked about, because, and I'll tell you why. And you're gonna think I'm the one that's the bad cop, right? Andromeda is a good cop. I'm bad cop.
Sometimes,
yeah, sometimes. But being what I've noted, and I'll be very blunt with you guys, okay, it's not an egoic thing, but I'll look at people who are really doing really massive work on these TikTok lives, and I'll see 11 people, 5 people, okay, including me, by the way, and then I'll see tits and ass, and boom, 4,000 people. I'll see whatever, however, and it'll be for, should people wear braids? Who should use the fucking toilet? Shit like that, when we had the election, there was that, and I could see that happening. That made sense to me. But the rest, really, like you want to use the bathroom, and this is going to be a 5-hour live, okay? While the world is exploding, okay, gotcha. Do you understand? So when they say the 144,000, I used to think it was like a conveyor belt metaphor, which I've broken it down many times, and you can look at my video for that. And Andromeda Flame have talked about it many times. But the point is, there really is 144,000. It hit me one day, and I was sad. It actually made me sad. I was in the middle of a live, and it hit me like boom, like a download. And I went, "This is," and then I wasn't so sad. I went, "Yeah, that's all we need. We only need that." And now we are the underdog if we're only 144,000. And those of you who connect with that, you connect with it as a point of a volunteer energy, not I'm a chosen one bullshit energy that licks your ego. It's I volunteered for this. There is 144,000. Now the programming of movies, they just drop loaded 300. If you guys remember the movie on the Spartans with Jared Butler, remember 300? 300 at the end they lose, and I've been saying that all the themes of the underdog hero, they lose, and this is called programming, to make you believe that no matter what you do you will lose. That's why they told me to say something and I can't say it. It's called Tina Square in CHINA, that happened and they all lost. We are not going to lose this one, because the 144,000 of us are really on this transcendental ship that realizes how we are going to handle this business. And it has nothing to do with fighting fire with fire or 3D battling. We know it's 5, 6, 7D and the creator, and connecting with the creator, and connecting with the archangels, the galactic councils, the other light beings. This is why you call on your angels, guides, and allies, and you give them permission to guide you every day and protect you. It's not a joke. And as you go through this journey of masses of awakening and transcendental understanding of situations that would have destroyed you 5 years ago, you will have a pocket of time where you might get spiritually attacked. It means you're kicking ass and you're dangerous now, because they're not going to fuck with a person who claims they're in a twin flame journey, that wants the Ken and Barbie story. They are benign. They're not important. In fact, whatever, they're going in their own 3D loop of egoic, frothing in the mouth. Oh my God, I've been chosen, and that's my twin. All that shit. When you become, let's kind of touch upon it a little bit, of the dark feminine and dark masculine, right? I'm going to go with the fact that they're high priestesses, people that scare the fuck out of you because they're so powerful. That is that premise of realizing that we are taking and learning how to harness energy. That's why meditation, chakra work, pranayama, all of that is so critical to that success. And we will win. That's why all these movies were made, to show us, see, they always lose no matter what you do. That includes the Matrix, right? He loses, right? He goes back in the pod, remember? So any questions on that, or comments, or what do you want to add to it, my love?
So a couple of things. So the first thing is the square, right, that you mentioned. And I hope you guys know what we're talking about. But do you remember the tank man who stood in front of the tanks with his shopping?
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't say anything. But yes, of course we do. That's what I did. That was the download they gave me. Exactly that.
Yeah, yeah, I got that as well. That's the man you want to be, okay? Um, Secondly, the 144,000. So it's 144,000 souls, right? So not bodies, right? So if you are the awakened twin, right, and your twin's not waking up from 3D, you carry the energy of your soul, and you will carry that energy forward in order to help you to manifest this better life, this more harmonious existence for all on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the light and dark. Okay.
Don't go too much into it because you and I because we're gonna do a
No.
class on this. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So go for it. And then I have to go in about 10 minutes, I believe.
Okay. Um,
Unfortunately, because we could do this for hours.
so let's so if we just look at it from the feminine perspective first, okay, because we one of the things that we have to do is we have to balance that masculine and feminine energy within us, and that can be quite difficult. But when you look at the yin yang symbol, the yin, the feminine, is dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that is not to imply anything negative or anything sinister, right? But when we look at the light and dark feminine, the divine feminine is a perfect balance of both. The problem is that the light feminine has been promoted as the idea of the divine feminine, the good girl, the compliant one, the silent one, the one who will take all sorts of shit and not say anything, right? But that is not good enough anymore. If you are a masculine or a feminine and you want to step into your power, you need to embrace that dark feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all about embracing yourself, nurturing yourself, taking no shit, having boundaries, all of this. It starts with robust, consistent, determined, and fearless shadow work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
has to be fearless.
And what do you mean by fearless? Explain it, please. Because fearless for some people should I want us both to extract the absolute toxicity of what that work means. Meaning you are going to have to face your most evil moments of past lives that still reverberate in your shadows and say, this was me, this is no longer me. I forgive myself. I'm no longer that. I was that, but I'm no longer. So it's to recognize. So please, if you could expound on that.
The fearlessness comes in because it is often disturbing
Yes.
to excavate what you may have done in past lives, even what you've done in this incarnation as well.
Yeah.
All right. And you have to understand that that experience, while it may have left scars, while it may have caused trauma,
Yeah.
that is something which you can go back, you can empathize with
Mm-hmm.
the situation that you were in. You're not going to say, oh, well, that was okay then. But you are going to be required to forgive yourself and
Mm-hmm.
to integrate that into yourself and to love yourself even more and to feel a sense of achievement that you have had the courage to face those things, to face those awful things that
Yeah.
you may have done, things that you wouldn't want anybody to know about you,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
we all have them, every single one of us, because of the number of incarnations we have had as star seeds on this planet and on other planets. Because some of you will have had incarnations as reptilians, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Some of you will have been involved in what happened in Lyra. Some of you will have been involved in what happened to the Galactic Council.
Yep.
Right now, you are required to release that, not to forget, but to release it, and to bring that in to your heart as part of yourself, a lesson learned, and something that you never want to encounter again. That's what it means by learning the lesson.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is not about making excuses or telling yourself that what you did was actually okay. Forgiveness is about saying, I forgive you, I don't forget, and I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've met some incredible people. I've met one woman that was a client who forgave her father for doing the unspeakable, if you get my drift. And she still has a relationship with this man, and she forgave him. That's that's basically forgiving the unforgivable. That's the ultimate in forgiveness. It's quite extraordinary that there are people right now, as we speak, who have that kind of capacity to forgive the unforgivable. And this is probably, and the forgiving the unforgivable in yourself, as what you may have done as a child, things that were taught you by the society's norm, like hunting. Like I remember a story of a divine masculine who said that he was given a BB gun in the 1950s and he hurt a squirrel. He harmed it and it made him sick. He never hunted again. It was one of the reasons why he eventually became a vegetarian. The idea of taking a life for no other reason than for sport was so traumatic. And in the 50s, we had dehumanized, I'm going to say that word, I am actually, we had dehumanized animals. In fact, for centuries, we've dehumanized animals, right? And so for him, that was a turning point. He had a beautiful, there are some souls. In fact, one of the Akashic readings I did last night, me and Andromeda talked about it because it was so incredible. This is a very, very precious divine masculine that we must protect at all costs. And his default soul was to never harm anyone. And he had to learn wisdom and incarnate it into another species, right? And to learn how to self-protect. It was not even, in fact, many of us who were star seeds, we couldn't even comprehend harming another sentient being. It didn't even come into our fucking consciousness at all. And we had to, some of us had to learn it by incarnating into other, like Andromedans, right? There was a wisdom of, yeah, you don't go to that meeting, right? That kind of thing. But there was also, what I also found is that some of us rose out of being reptilians. And there's nothing to be ashamed of because the soul is not anything else but light. And it steps into these temporary vessels: reptilian, Andromedan, Orion, Assyrian, Pleiadian, and fucking breeds and sentient beings that we don't even have. We don't have the names that I've seen, like the yellow people, right? For example, or like the red species, the red people. And now I came in the moss green people. What the fuck? So it's fuck. It's it's insane. You know, it's insane. And the concept of the reptilian mind is when everything is done by primal instincts from the root chakra. The heart is completely closed off. So is the third eye. So you do things by impulsive root chakra moves. And you actually shut down. Your brain shuts down and becomes reptilian. You decide not to feel. You might actually go through that when you're having a massive fight that triggers so badly in you that you shut down your emotional components, and you only, now what comes up straight away is the reptilian mind, and it becomes almost vicious, cold, unable to be reached. This happens to both the feminine and the masculine. Can we wrap it up with that? I don't want to say goodbye, but if you want us to come back, let us know in the comments, and maybe I can persuade Andromeda to come back in a couple hours because I have a reading to do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I have nothing to add to that. I think um, when you this is why it's a really useful thing to have an Akashic reading or to and to have hypnotherapy,
Yeah.
um, because you will learn things about past incarnations
Yeah.
that may well make sense of what you're experiencing in this incarnation.
And that's why, not to plug, but what the hell, is recall. That, I think that's what the book Recall is really helping people realize, that you can and you will have incarnations that are shockingly brutal, and in the end, and it does on a very subconscious level show its face, though you can't see it. And eventually, when you crack open the codes, you are liberated from the looping of the guilt and the failures and the betrayals that were done in both parties. It's always a two-party system for the most part in a twin flame, twin ray. Well, it wouldn't be twin ray, but twin flame connection, if that makes sense, right? Would you say that's correct? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely correct. And
No, it's not unfortunate. She's actually, it's just we're having a roll here, and then we got cut off. Fuck. I can't. I actually, I'm so happy what got cut off. That was such a mic drop of, oh, you just spoke. You just spilled the tea on the twin flame separation agenda. It's like
yeah,
from,
there it is. Thanks for the confirmation.
yeah, Andromeda and I were laughing. I go, oh look, they approved my appeal. Oh my god, in seconds. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's interesting because they saw everything we said was not fear mongering at all. It was just know your shit, know your enemy, and then proceed accordingly. So one person is saying come back. So it's up to you, Andromeda, because it's going to be late for you.
It's
Um,
going to be late, and I'm actually up in yeah, I'm up in 8 hours
yeah, so we'll go
from
ahead.
now.
Why don't we do one tomorrow? I'll advertise it again so you guys can see. I can come back if you guys want me to come back. Maybe we're gonna do an energy read with some cards. Maybe, but it'll be probably late. Okay. So listen, Andromeda, please follow Andromeda. She's doing a whole series. She's got massive, important information on chakras so that you can master your chakras, and then go ahead and go into the. I have to do something for 10 minutes before I go on with you, Sally. And I fucked up on this appointment. It happens every blue moon. I have notifications on, so whenever you guys are ready. Perfect. And yes, okay. So we're gonna do an energy read if I can. If not, it'll be late tonight. I'm up until midnight. You guys know that. I want to thank Andromeda Flame for her wisdom. Please follow her. Please, if you don't follow me, follow me. We are going to do a channel on Rumble. We need to fucking be unhinged and unedited and unsmothered, because some of the things are, though you're going to listen to it again and again, you need to listen to it in the 60 different angles of perception so that you guys can master your own transcendental innate wisdom that you have always had but was muzzled by the 1% agenda and the brainwashing of the dogmatic religions that harness our root chakra, shaming it, suppressing it, and being us. You're the one with the last word, my love. Let's
Yeah,
last word.
it will be nice to use proper words and be able to have a fluent conversation without worrying,
Mhm.
um, because unfortunately there are restrictions here. Um, we'll also be announcing classes
Mhm.
pretty shortly, which will go into the journeys, tools which you can use, um, looking at masculine and feminine energy, a whole course on chakras, which will include guided meditations. So keep an eye out for that.
And then also the tarot cards,
Yeah.
because we have to learn. All right, my loves, thank you so much for being here. Sending you much love on your journey. I will try to stitch these two lives together on YouTube. Meanwhile, follow me on YouTube, and there's a lot more beautiful content with me and Andromeda that you can see. It clearly says Andromeda Flame, so it's easy to find us when we chat together. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you, Rachel, for being a beautiful goddess. Thank you, Zali, for your patience. So much gratitude to all of you. And just keep the truth in your heart and stop gaslighting yourself. And again, you are loved. Okay? Namaste. Be well, sisters.